Making a conscious effort to be positive does take a lot of work. In between games, you can also choose a role model who you find to be positive. By emulating them, it can certainly help you with your game when you get back on the ice. Make sure to focus on coaches' and players' needs instead of those of your own. And again, remember, feelings are a choice, both negative and positive. Your attitude on the ice can go a long way in affecting coaches, players, and parents. Although it's easy to say that someone should have a positive attitude while refereeing a game, it's not always easy to do or to practice. However, word choices, although they seem to be simple and small, you can make changes that will make a dramatic difference on the ice. By employing positive phrasing, it creates an environment where the coaches and players will respond much better and with an open mind. An example would be when a coach asks a question and the referee turns around and says, "Just hold on 1 minute, coach." You need to take a look at that and say, is that positive or is that negative? Some other clear examples of negative phrasing would be, "Because I said so, coach," or "That's the way I saw it," or "What did you say to me?" And finally, "Coach, that's not my job." When making or assessing a call on the ice, there are some things to remember both during and after the call. First off, avoid arguments whenever possible. Simply assess your penalty, make the signals slow and without overemphasizing your motions. Remember, your body language can say a lot more than actually verbally saying anything to coaches or players. Once the call has been assessed, skate to the other side of the ice after the call is made. Have your partner do the face-off if it's closer to the benches. If the coach has a question, be patient and calm. Listen to their question. Briefly explain your position and what you saw. Make appropriate eye contact and stay friendly whenever possible. There are times, however, that a referee is just going to have to give bad news to the coach. Such as an example is a player who has been ejected on a game misconduct or match penalty for the remainder of a game. It's always important to try and use what they call a sandwich technique. Try and give a little bit of good information or positive information at the beginning as you explain it to the coach, then let them know that that player or that their assistant coach or whoever has been ejected, and try and follow up with something that's positive. And then again, remember, move to the other side of the ice and avoid any other conversations or arguments. Sometimes, no matter what you do as a referee, you'll run into angry coaches and players. Part of being able to avoid a major disruption on the ice is being able to recognize the signs of an angry person. Those signs could be someone who speaks to you in a high-pitched sound or speech. Sometimes they display long pauses. They give sighs, start to solicit demands of you as the referee. When responding back to you, give nothing but short answers, and you'll notice that the volume of their voice continues to get louder and louder. As a referee, once you've realized that you're dealing with an angry person, there are two problems that typically arise. First off, there's a relationship problem now with the referee and the relationship of the coach or the player. We refer to this as a broken relationship. Usually this is because of the basic needs of customer service and of that coach or player are not being met. This is a specific problem that now will need your attention not only just immediately, but also through the duration of the game. The key to handling an angry coach or player are, number one, deal with the feelings first, both of yours and of the coach or players. You want to listen and respond with empathy. Let them know that you understand what it is that they're saying. Don't just simply put your hand up in a stop sign fashion and say, "Coach, I don't want to talk about it." Ask questions to get specifics about the complaint. Explain why you made the call you made. Close with a positive remark, if at all possible. And then finally, again, skate to the other side of the rink and avoid being within verbal range. It will only invite more arguments. Lastly, don't have rabbit ears. Remember, there's a difference between yelling at the sweater that you're wearing and yelling at you personally as the official. Sometimes the angry person can then turn into the abusive person. A definition of an abusive person is one who goes beyond expressing anger about a problem and begins attacking the referee verbally who made the call. This often includes swearing and personal attacks, in other words, calling you out by name or specifically looking or pointing at you and screaming across the ice. During these times, it's then time to utilize the rule book to its fullest, assess minor penalties for abusive official or unsportsmanlike conduct, and then for players move on to misconducts and game misconducts, or for a coach, after warnings and minor penalties, move directly to game misconducts. And finally, tips for handling that abusive coach or player or even parent on the ice. Above all, stay and remain calm. If you get excited, if you become unprofessional, it's awfully hard to then tell that coach or that player or that parent that they need to remain professional. Understand that you truly are not the target. Most people get caught up in the game, and the official just happens to be someone there that they can yell at and vent. Give the coach or player a warning. Some certain things that you can say would be phrases such as, "I beg your pardon," or "I don't appreciate the language you're using, coach." Or, "If you aren't able to talk with me without swearing, I'm going to have to end this conversation." That's when you skate away and continue and have your partner try and deal with them later on throughout the game until such time as they calm down and you're able to communicate again.